What's going on, everyone? Anthony here with HG Toys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be reviewing Hasbro's version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Automorphers, or as they're calling them, Retro Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know if Bandai still holds the rights to the name Automorphers, but this is Hasbro's version right here. And as you can see, in this wave, there are only 4 figures. Zack the Black Ranger, Kimberly the Pink Ranger, Billy the Blue Ranger, and Jason the Red Ranger. Most notably, Trini the Yellow Ranger is missing from this wave. Then also maybe Tommy the Green Ranger or the White Ranger. I don't know why they opted to choose 4 for this wave instead of just doing the original 5 all in one case. Or maybe just doing 3 and then 3 later, or 2, 2, and 2. I don't know their marketing plan for this, but this is the first wave. This is the only 4 figures that are coming on this wave. And as you can see here, the box is kind of reminiscent of Bandai's Retro Morpher packaging. Not quite exactly the same. This is actually much smaller, obviously very different. I don't know if Bandai still holds the rights to the box art or the figures itself, because this is a whole totally different sculpt. This is Hasbro's own version. Once again, I don't know if Bandai owns it. If somebody can tell me that they still own the rights, I'd greatly appreciate it. But as far as the box goes, they're basically all the same. It shows the figures in the wave, the fact that their weapons combine. The only difference is it highlights which weapons the figure comes with. So this one shows obviously the Power X for being Zack. Kimberly shows the Power Bow. Billy shows the lances right there. And then Jason shows his Power Sword. So I would assume Trini is going to connect right here. And then whatever they decide to do with Tommy, I don't know. And then another difference would be right here in the corner. It shows each individual Ranger morphing their heads. But enough of that. What do you say we go ahead and crack these open and see how cool they actually are? Okay guys, so here we have all the figures out of packaging, and they shared the exact same body mold as their Bandai counterparts did. Key differences being their helmet sculpt and their color, obviously. They all come with their power weapons. Each individual ones is pretty basic, no paint, just all solid plastic, being black plastic, white plastic, and gray plastic. They also all come with their blade blasters, which can be ported in either direction for whatever reason. So you can have it that way or this way. Do have a nice range of articulations for only being $10 figures. When Bandai tried to re-release their older versions a few years back, they were coming out at a price point around $25 a figure, and I just thought that was ridiculous to charge that much for like a figure with no new technology in it whatsoever. I think the only key difference between that and the original release back in '93 was the fact that the civilian heads did rotate left and right like they did in like later releases like Zeo and Turbo and all that. But other than that, that was not warranted, for me at least, to pay $25. Bandai was definitely trying to grab all of our cash as much as they possibly could, and I was not going to buy into it. But these only being at less than $10 a figure, I think it's like $9 and something, and some change, is much more warranted of my price range. And to be able to show these to my daughter, which I have let her play with, by the way, if you follow my Instagram, she could not put them down. She just loved the flipping action. And speaking of flipping action, I believe the most noticeable difference between Bandai and Hasbro is the fact that their activator is right here on the back instead of pressing the Power Morpher itself. So all you gotta do is press it in the back, and there you go, civilian head sculpt Zack. This does have like an auto, like continuously looping morph, so you don't have to reset it like the original release did. You just gotta keep pressing it on and on. So yeah, there you go. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at Kimberly real quick. Oh, there we go. So it does do that sometimes. It does like rotate twice, so you will kind of have to mess with it a little bit, or not press it too hard. But there we go. Then we have Billy. Fun little gimmick. Then of course Jason. There you go. And as I said, their civilian head sculpts do not rotate. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into articulation. So basically, very, very basic, just like the older ones. Does not rotate. Will go up, actually all the way. Will rotate full 360. Single jointed elbow, does rotate at the elbow, no wrists, no waist. Legs will go forward that far. No back whatsoever. Single jointed knee, does rotate at the knee. And I think a noticeable difference between this one and Bandai is that the legs will do the splits. So if you wanted to, it'll go the splits all the way just like that. So extra articulation at a cheaper price point, I think, is much more appealing to me. And if you wanted to, just take the guns out and you can port them in the hand just like that. Their weapons are very, very basic, even more basic than their regular $10 6-inch line. Obviously, this is more going towards the old school things and more towards the hardcore collectors. So if you're just trying to collect like the more adult collector gear friendly, this isn't going to interest you, but I am just showing you just in case. So another plus, just like the originals, you could take all their weapons and combine them into the power cannon. So obviously Billy's power lance does separate, they just kind of port in. So there's a peg right there and then a porthole on the adjacent one. So you'll take the power axe, power bow, port it in right there. Take the power lance, port it in like so. Take the power sword and you have an almost complete power blaster. Come on, there we go. So there you go. Oh, kind of knocked it out. There you go. So as you can see here, they do have the ports ready for Trini whenever they release her in Wave 2. I'm not sure how they're going to release that, or like, I guess I mean like how many figures they're going to release, seeing as how technically there is only 3 left. There would be Trini the Yellow Ranger, Tommy the White Ranger, and Tommy as the Green Ranger. Unless they plan on releasing other, I guess, variants. So maybe with like a Rocky, Adam, and Aisha head. Metallic versions. I don't know how they're going to release it. So they're either going to release it with another figure in the line, or just release it as a 3 to finally complete this set, which I think would be very weird, seeing as how this one came with 4 and the next one would only come with 2 or 3. But they don't stick together very well. Just gotta kind of put it in. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's see here. Having Jason hold this in just one hand kind of makes him very, very top heavy. So I'm not going to be able to hold him for very long in that position without letting go. But yeah, basic review on these basic figures. If you're interested, they are showing up at local Walmarts. $10 a figure. Honestly, at the price point, you really can't complain too much. Very fun action figure. Very, very nice gimmick. This is how they scale with a regular Lightning Collection line, if you're wondering. So these stand at just shy of 5 inches. So there you have it, guys. Great figure. Can't say I recommend it. If you're into that whole retro thing, it's a nice thing to have, but if you only want like the super retro one, obviously stick with the Bandai version. But at $10 a figure, it's a fun figure to give to your kids, or just a fun figure to mess around with. So until next time, guys, later.